Prime Minister Boris Johnson heads to Brussels today for dinner with the European Commission's Ursula von der Leyen as Brexit talks stall yet again. Joining us from London is Emma Chandra to tell us what Johnson is hoping to achieve. Emma, it's great to see you this morning. We're hearing that a Brexit trade agreement hangs by a thread. Give us the latest.
Yes, does it hang by what is served for the starter at tonight's dinner or what is served for dessert? Will Boris Johnson like the profiteroles? I joke we don't know exactly what is on the menu. What a lot of people are hoping is on the menu is, of course, a trade deal. We've been talking about this for so long. Will they get a trade deal? What we're hearing is that from Boris Johnson, this trip to Brussels for this dinner, his team saying this is really the way they're going to break the deadlock. Boris Johnson is going to charm Ursula von der Leyen and they'll be able to get to an agreement on a post-Brexit trade deal. The Europeans not being quite so bullish. They're saying that even if the dinner goes well, even if there are agreements in principle, there could still be some time taken in order to hammer out those points. So the Brits telling us that perhaps we could see negotiators back around the negotiating table within hours. The Europeans perhaps are saying that might not be the case. As with everything to do with Brexit, we're always talking about deadlines, and a number of them have moved a number of times. But there is one that seems pretty immovable, and that is December the 31st. That is the end of what's known as the transition period. That's the time since leaving the European Union, since Brexit in name, and the time then given to get a post-Brexit trade deal. It's December the 31st, and that seems pretty immovable. So there are still a few weeks to go. Of course, everybody really wants to get a trade deal done and dusted, perhaps before Christmas.
Yeah, a few weeks to go, Emma, but this has been a process that is close to 5 years at this point. Give us an idea of what will happen, particularly when it comes to financial markets, if a deal isn't reached by the end of the year.
Well, I think financial markets would take it very badly if a deal is not reached. We've certainly been seeing in the currency markets today some more optimism that a deal can be reached. The pound rising against the dollar. We've seen that breaking a three-day losing streak. A bit of a more nuanced story in the options market when we're seeing the cost of hedging against losses in sterling against the euro, that reaching its highest level since June 2016, which of course was when we had the original Brexit referendum. So we're seeing signs of optimism, though everyone is sort of hedging their bets. The hope is, of course, that Britain and the UK will not leave the European Union without any deal with what is its largest trading partner. But there is still a number of sticking points.
Well, take us through some of those sticking points.
Well, the main one emerging at the moment that seems to be the really big sticking point is something known as the level playing field or fair competition rules. This is how businesses will operate within the European Union and in the UK post-Brexit and under a trade deal. What Europe seems to be worried about is if they strengthen their labour laws or their environmental protection laws, does that give a window to Britain to be more competitive to businesses? What Britain has said is that it won't dilute any of the existing labour laws or environmental protection laws and so forth. But the concern is whether or not if Europe strengthens it, will that mean that Britain has sort of got a little open door to be more attractive to business? And that is where they are finding difficulty in coming together. What we have heard today is from Germany's Chancellor Angela Merkel, arguably the most powerful leader in Europe, saying that resolving this is really vital to a deal. The other thing you may have heard a lot about is the fish industry. It's sort of a totemic issue for France and for the UK, both very small parts of the economy, but they are totemic, they are symbolic, they're important. And what Britain is concerned about is how long foreign fleets essentially will have access to its fishing waters. So those are the two main things. There are other things, but those are the two main ones at the moment. And there does seem to be some way to go before reaching agreement on both sides.
Well, we cannot talk Brexit without talking about those fishing rights. Emma Chandra from Bloomberg News in London, thank you as always for your time and for joining us on Quick Take today.
The biggest stories the moment they happen from around the globe. Subscribe to Bloomberg Quick Take now for insight in an instant.